Alright, so I've actually finally decided to get started on this stuff, so welcome to the William Schimberg YouTube channel, where we are going to be working on various cars and mechanic related stuff, and I'm going to work on projects and other things that I hope you guys all find entertaining. I mean, I'll explain some engineering stuff and such, but I feel like a useful tip or a useful thing to do for this first video is probably going to be to walk through every project and stuff that we got around here that we can put on the channel and start working on. Alright, so one of the first vehicles is going to be my 2004 Ford Expedition. This car currently isn't the most, what you would call, fastest car around. It's currently just what gets me to and from. It works. I mean, really the only modification I've done to it is I've wired an auxiliary cord in for audio, but besides that, I mean, really it's just a clean car I drive. And I will do general maintenance on this and show you guys how to do that. I'll also show you modifications you can do to your daily driver car that will help increase performance and gas mileage easily without making it like a race car. Some of the next projects we have this is my uncle's 1999 Scrambler 400. It's in the current state of disarray. That four-wheeler over there is my brother's 130 Kawasaki. But, so these things, my family has quite a few of them, and they all break down all the time, so they're quite fun to work on. They're quite fun to just have. So you'll also see this and that. Also, you can see back there's 2 tractors and a lawnmower. Those are always in a state of disarray and will also be worked on, just to show general maintenance on other things as well. Alright, this is the crown jewel of the fleet currently. It is my 1969 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. So, as you can see, it's the 4-door variant, so that's the sedan part. I mean, she's not bad. I mean, currently, I've just put new carpet, and I'm in the process of getting a new front seat in. I have the door panels out, because I was working on the weather stripping as well. And so, this is my project car. This is the thing that I will be working on mostly, and this is the thing that I am restoring and working on throughout high school, hopefully. So we got little things to fix, like this window doesn't line up properly, and, you know, the vinyl top's gone and it's all rusty underneath. I mean, it's not a bad car. I mean, it's pretty straight. We've got a dent in a hood from where it hit a moose. I mean, obviously it's gonna need paint. Got a rabbit under it. We've got rust holes or speed holes in the fenders. Just that's factory and weight reduction. And then we've got the same weight reduction on the other side. But that shouldn't be too hard. Just weld some new panels in. I mean, though, she runs great. She currently isn't registered, but I'm working on it. I mean, she's a pretty solid car. She fires right up. I've done a little bit of work to her, like regards to the engine. So, really, what I've done to the engine is I've just looked it over, because I got this engine it didn't run at all. The carburetor was in the passenger seat, and the drive shaft was in the passenger seat as well. So, I mean, though it's a pretty complete car. I mean, currently, only thing we're missing is the AC compressor, but that's a standard GM thing, so it shouldn't be too hard to come by. So, I mean, really what I've done is I've flushed the coolant system, obviously changed the oil. I'm running actually diesel oil in this because the newer oils just don't have the dinosaurs and minerals that these old engines need, and the diesel oils do. I've put a new alternator in it because the old one wasn't working right. This one's a newer reproduction that is internally regulated. All of the vacuum systems in the car except the brakes do not work. I mean, like this is cruise control right here. Doesn't work. The vacuum operated what's it called? Heating and AC doesn't work. The heating should work if I hook up the vacuum and troubleshoot that. And the AC will work if I get a compressor, but that's expensive. Really, I've gone through the distributor, refreshed that. It's got new points, new plugs. I haven't done wires yet. I probably should. As you can see, the carb is actually kind of shiny because I've rebuilt that. I should repaint it. And as you can see, my fuel line isn't running from the mechanical pump that's down there. I have put a return style electric pump in. This is really temporary. I haven't put this in fully yet. As you can see, it's just kind of floating around, but it works for now. Also, new battery cables. I need to trim this one. Also, I like that it's green. It livens this up a little. I've got a new cable here that I ran down to the starter. Yeah, I rebuilt the starter too. I freshened that up because I broke it when I was trying to first get it started while I was cranking. Though, for in here in the engine bay, actually, I did replace the steering box because first time I drove it, it spewed fluid everywhere. But besides that, I mean, it's a nice car. It's got everything here except the AC compressor, which isn't that hard to get. I mean, like stuff like the AC condenser and all the various bits and pieces I have. It's just, I just need to figure it out and refresh it all a little, and we should be good. But we'll see. Also just this hood, also that bunny over there, really wants to be in the YouTube video. Also, this hood is just, when it closes, is immaculate. So you drew me under the car. I mean, it's not bad. It's not rusty like most cars this age are. It's a pretty solid car. I mean, nothing's rusted through except the fenders. The exhaust's all intact. But we do have a few leaks. Currently, we are only leaking automatic transmission fluid, or ATF, and a little bit of coolant. So, I mean, I just top those off every once in a while. Make sure it's not low. Though, actually, for this car, it's quite interesting, because this is, Cadillac is GM's, like, luxury brand for GM. So, they did everything that was like new and advanced for the time. Like, if you talk to anyone that has older cars, you know, they're all manual locks, manual windows, and also even the trunk can be opened electronically. It's just a very nice, sophisticated car that is old. I mean, not many cars from the 70s you can find with power windows, electronic windshield wipers, and power locks. I mean, all of them work too. Like, locks work. And, I mean, electric seat currently doesn't work, but that's also a nice feature. I'm working on that. But I mean, it's a complete car that I'm working on and trying to get running and roadworthy and make it nice. Okay, so you join me inside of the car. You can see I have various tools scattered all around. But I've got the door panels off. I mean, you can see we've got the window mechanism, the locks, and everything. I went through all that, greased it all up. I mean, she's got, I assume, 93 original 1,000 miles. However, on these older cars, it's easy to mess with that and change it. Clock doesn't work. I mean, on almost all older cars, they don't. I mean, pretty standard. We got automatic climate control, which is quite interesting. It's like the newer cars. You just like set it to 75, set it to auto, and it does its thing. Lights, the Sentinel, basically, when it goes dark, if you set this to max, the lights will turn on when it gets dark outside. It's just auto lights. I mean, you can still manually do the lights, but that doesn't work, unfortunately. I need to fix that. Cruise control also doesn't currently work, but it's still a nice feature that you have on these older cars. I mean, also, how many older cars do you know that have cruise control? I replaced that mirror, so now you can actually see out of it, but also you can see we don't have a mirror on that side. Got a mirror on this side, but before 1972, it was not required to have a mirror on your passenger side. The only other thing I've installed is a air-fuel ratio gauge, which basically tells me the ratio of fuel to air that my engine is burning, which helps me tune the engine and make sure it's running right. Another interesting thing that unfortunately you can't see right now because all the door panels are out is every door had a cigarette lighter and ashtray. And I thought that was just funny because, it's technically a 70s car, so, I mean, everyone smoked. I mean, there's even one right here for the driver. I mean, you even got them in the back seats so that your kids can smoke with you. Alright, so I'm going to fire her up. Oh, I have a FedEx slip on the window. Alright. So as you see, you can hear the electric fuel pump kick in. And she fires up. She's not bad for a 50-year-old car. The fast idle kicks in. And then it slows down a little. She doesn't run bad. As you can see, she idles. She revs good. Once you see this come up, you can see got her tuned in fine. She runs a little bit lean during idle because stoichiometric, the ideal you want to shoot for is 14.7. I'm running 16, 15, so not bad. But you can see as I rev it, it goes 10, which is kind of rich, but these older engines like rich compared to lean. So here, let's go around to the engine bay so you guys can see this. Now you know she runs. I obviously have this flipped upside down to let her breathe a little bit more. I also replaced that fan. You don't want to get your fingers caught in that thing. It spins a little fast. So, I mean, it's a relatively complete car, it runs great, and it's just fun. I mean, this engine is a Cadillac 472, so it's 472 cubic inches, which is what they measured older cars in for a long time because, Americans wanted to measure cars in American measurement. But that translates to about 7.7 liters, which is a huge engine. Like, my Expedition has a 5.4, My dad's diesel truck has a 6.7. 7.7 was, and the Cadillac 500, which is 8.2, was the biggest engine in the world until the Dodge Viper came out with their V10, which is surprising. The biggest gasoline engine in the world is in this car, and it moves this boat around. I mean, she's only about 3 tons, so she's not light. Actually, one day I want to go and actually weigh her, but now that she's warmed up a little, let's rev her. Well, yeah, she's a runner. I mean, with a few things, and once you get her registered, she's a going to town unit. I mean, you can drive this thing pretty much everywhere, assuming you can pay for gas for it, because, you know, it probably only gets less than 8 miles to the gallon, and everyone's like, oh, why do you want to get less than 8 miles to the gallon? Because this car's cool. I mean, look at it. It's about 6 football fields long. I mean, it's just massive, but it's beautiful. I mean, sure, it needs work, and of course it's not the most practical car for, you know, living in today's world, but honestly, I think that she will do fine, and I hope that you guys will enjoy watching her progress through her stages of life as much as I love working on her. Though also, I got a new windshield on it because there's a huge crack in it, and to get these registered, you can't have any cracks in the windshield, which is kind of stupid, but, you know, I mean, besides that, I've looked at everything. I need to get new tires, because these tires are only from about around 1983. But what's funny is the manufacturer of these tires, actually not those ones, but the ones in the back, are actually made by Sears. You can't see because the skirt's in the way, but a little tip for all you guys is Sears used to make everything from lawnmowers to car tires, and now they're nothing. But so anyways, this is Bertha, Big Bertha. She's going to be the main focus of this channel, and we're going to work on her, and hopefully by the time I'm done with her, she will be a beautiful Cadillac, and hopefully a nice car that we'll be able to just admire and look at, because she's beautiful. Old cars like this are just fabulous. One other thing that I think is really cool about this car is just all the, I mean, that's a mess, but all the, like, creature comforts. Like, we take stuff like this for granted. Like, you can open the trunk from in here, but, like, no one had done that before for cars like this. So the fact that, like, you could open the trunk from here or roll down this window from sitting over there, it was really cool at the time. I mean, before that, you just had the crank, and you had to crank the windows up and down. But this makes, I mean, if you own a Cadillac, can you really waste the time cranking your window or the extra calories it takes? You gotta have the electric windows. I mean, come on. Also, this trunk's about 6 miles long. For you Americans, it's about a football field. But also, I've got an emblem missing back here, but you can fit about 6 dead bodies in here. Thankfully, there were no dead bodies in here when I got it. Thankfully. Well, yeah, that's why the mafia would buy cars like this, because, you know, if you ever needed to clean up, I mean, why just get a truck? Because then people can see. A van, it's going to be smelly. This, you can ride in comfort and luxury and have all the people from that you've killed. Though, I mean, there's little stuff in here like this cardboard that covers up the latches and the hinges are still deteriorating. And I've got a cleaning toothbrush to, clean all the grease off. Jumper cables, in case, it's an old car. It's going to have a dead battery. Also, this tire, which is the spare, you can see the bead is dead on that, or the belt. Now this here under the trunk is the original color. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think I'm going to paint it this color. You can also kind of see it here. That isn't very clean, but yeah, they called it a royal blue, but it's not very royal. It's very baby sky blue. I'm thinking I'm going to go more of a blue of like that electrical harness over there that I've redone. Just a darker blue. That's an actual royal blue. Yeah. I also had to, fix this. This was leaking. So, the best option, Flex Seal. The wrong tool for the right project. No, I mean, besides that, there's little things. I mean, she's pretty good. Except, like, little stuff like this. The window moves back and forth and such. So, like, it doesn't seal properly. I mean, also, windows don't got a frame on them. They're just the glass. So, you got these seals here that are impossible to keep rain out of. As you can see, there's watermarks up and down on this window on the inside. And also just closing the doors with all this wiring hanging out is annoying. And with the, glass not lining up. Because, like, if I do that, it doesn't close properly. So you just gotta, give her a little bit of persuasion. Persuasion. That's all you need. Just let her know that you're trying to help her and she needs to help you back. Also, what's this? FedEx, wonderful. Yeah, that's Big Bertha. I mean, she's a nice car that needs a little bit of TLC. And if you guys want to know anything or learn anything about her, I mean, I could help you about that. I mean, also styling of the era, of why cars looked like this and why they had leather and vinyl tops and why they have so much chrome on them. I mean, why did they made hoods the length of football fields and engines that got you 8 miles to the gallon, if that. So you never know. I mean, that's Bertha. I mean, if you guys want to know anything else about her or just learn anything, I mean, I can help you with that or just talk more. I'm definitely going to be showing videos on me finishing up the interior, getting her driving, cleaning up the mess I made with this Flex Seal and whatever this is. Well, yeah, hopefully she'll be nice and restored by the time I'm done with her. Also, one last thing. What should I paint this car? I'm thinking I don't want to go red, just because, red looks weird. Yellow, green, obviously off the charts. I don't want to go something boring like white or silver. Black I'll accept, or a shade of blue. But if you guys got any other better ideas or certain shades of blue or black you want, just put them in the comments and, I'll look at them and I'll see which ones are bad and which ones are actually good. So, don't leave bad ones because I don't really want to go through all of them. I mean, that's it. I mean, Bertha was a big part of this video. I mean, she's big in general, but so if you guys want me to talk about anything or explain anything, I'm definitely going to do some how-to videos, like how to change tires or how to change your oil, just basic stuff that everyone should know and do, because, you know, if you got other people, they're going to scam you out of a bunch of money for something that's actually quite easy to do. So, you know, if you want to see anything or want me to talk about anything more, I mean, just tell me and we'll see how this works out. I have no intentions of this being like the next Jake Paul or anything big. So, I mean, it's just me trying to have some fun, messing around with projects in my garage, and hopefully not catching too many things on fire. Also, yeah, that's gonna be it. So,